Hey Aries, Aries rising, welcome to your 2025 horoscope and cosmic energy reading. Major changes occurring that will impact you directly. We're going to have two planets moving into the sign of Aries, and that is going to be quite a transformational period in your life. Now, before I get started, let me just clarify that this video will not apply to every Aries or Aries rising because, of course, your chart is unique and individual. So if you want to get deeper, book an astrology reading. Now, let's get into it. The nodes have been in the Aries and Libra axis, but that is about to change because on January the 11th, the North Node enters Pisces and the South Node enters Virgo, which means the North Node moves out of your first house and moves into your 12th house. So where there was a focus on you, your identity, your goals, your ambitions, your life path, your life direction, as well as relationships and partnerships, now it's time to go inwards into your spiritual identity, your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual connection, your spiritual abilities, and your creativity. Because the North Node will move into the 12th house, and that's what the 12th house rules over. And there's also going to be an emphasis on releasing and letting go of certain attitudes or old patterns regarding your daily life, your daily routine, even regarding work and your wellness, your well-being. And the eclipses will also occur in your 12th and 6th house axis, which means you can go through major life changes, even spiritual changes regarding these areas of life. When it comes to your 12th house, this is about your spirituality, your creativity. It's about your connection with source, the universe, the divine, whatever your beliefs are. This could also be a time where you're doing a lot of shadow work, shadow healing, or even like karmic work. And then when you have the eclipses in your 6th house, that is going to be regarding work, regarding your daily life and routine, regarding your well-being as well. And what's interesting is this year we're going to have a Venus retrograde and a Mercury retrograde that are going to begin in your sign and then move into Pisces, which means they will enter your 12th house, joining the North Node. This is major, so major for you because you've just gone through so many eclipses, and you're also going to go through an eclipse this year as well. And that has had a lot to do with relationships. It's had a lot to do with your life. And it's almost like this energy, there's still stuff to work through. There's still things to figure out and understand and integrate. I mean, it's a process. Venus is the goddess of love and relationships. And Mercury is about the mind, the higher mind. And these retrogrades occur so that we can go inwards and navigate through some of our shadows, some of the karma, some of our emotions, some of the things that have been playing about, some of our patterns, and that manifests externally. So there may be some things that you have to go through again with relationships or partnerships, or even with where you're headed in life and the direction you're taking. There may be a slowing down and having to really reevaluate. And then when the retrogrades, Venus and Mercury retrogrades, enter the 12th house, when they move into Pisces, there's kind of like a surrender that's going to occur. Surrendering to your spiritual beliefs, surrendering to the spiritual connection you have, and really deepening that as well. Having this connection that gives you the ability to hold on and to hold on to faith that will guide you through this journey, through this process, even when it seems very intense. Now, you're an intense person, so, nothing phases you that much, but you're still a human. You're still going through life changes and life experiences, and they still impact you. So you may be a little more sensitive during this time as well. But there's a lot of growth here, a lot of growth that's going to occur regarding relationships, regarding your spiritual connections, regarding your intuition and where you're headed and your divine path. And this energy will also still continue because this year both Neptune and Saturn will move out of Pisces and move into Aries. That is a huge, major transit. Both of these planets, that are so opposite in nature moving into the same sign around the same time, that is massive. Now, Neptune and Saturn are so opposite. Neptune wants to escape. Saturn is grounded in reality. Neptune wants to be in euphoria, and Saturn wants to work hard in the trenches and get things done and give it its all. So these two energies can be in a bit of a conflict because they don't really get along. But ultimately, when they come together, what they're doing, especially Saturn, what Saturn really does is breaks illusions, breaks rose-tinted glasses, breaks any type of fantasy that is not serving you. This could be a time where you're a lot more serious about your life and who you are and where you're headed. I mean, of course, the North Node has been triggering that and making those changes, but now Saturn is going to really apply the pressure to see, are you going to really integrate those lessons? Are you really going to go about what you have made future plans for? Are you really going to work for it and give it your all? Now, you got to watch out for your mind, body, and spirit during this time with Neptune and Saturn. You really got to be careful because you can be really sensitive as well during this time. If you feel like you're not feeling your best, go to a medical professional and really get checked up, because these energies can be very intense as well. So you want to really just make sure you're doing well, okay? Because they can be very impactful. You know, whatever's going on internally can manifest externally as well. So just be very mindful of that, taking care of the mind, body, soul, and spirit. And during this time, you're definitely going to be, like I said, way more serious in your approach towards life. You're even like your mental energy, you're going to be very serious and very focused and very all about getting things done. And you may even overwork yourself with that. This could also impact relationships because Saturn and Neptune are opposite your 7th house. So again, you may not be able to experience that much pleasure because there's so much more that is on your mind than relationships. You're more focused on this journey that you're on and all that you want to achieve and accomplish. And also sometimes Saturn can bring some tension, and it can bring some challenges that you have to navigate through, which could directly be connected to relationships. But when it's in the 1st house, I mean, this is your overall just life as well. And I don't mean to say that it's going to really be like a negative thing. Absolutely not, because Saturn is a sage. Saturn is a wise one. So when we go through these transits, Saturn really helps us to mature, helps us to become the better version of ourselves. And of course, Saturn tests us as well to see, are we really putting in the effort, the time, and the energy for that? So this is going to be a transformational period for you. Now, let's move on to the lunar events, because on March the 29th, we do have a solar eclipse in Aries. It is a partial solar eclipse, so it will be at 9 degrees of Aries. So if you have any Aries energy at 9 degrees or close by, this will impact you the most. And this may be a major life change, a major catalyst that occurs in your life that changes your life direction in a lot of ways. We're also going to have a full moon in Aries on October the 6th. Now, full moons are also similarly to eclipses, but more so lunar eclipses. Full moons are about letting go, endings, releasing. It's about culmination as well, where you can actually find yourself seeing the fruits of your labor and seeing all that you've worked hard to manifest, because it's a very highly intense energy, so it can work in that way as well. Now, this full moon in Aries will impact those that have, let me just double check for you, 14 degrees of Aries in their chart. So look at your chart. Do you have anything in Aries at 14 degrees or close by? If you do, this full moon will impact you the most. So it was a very transformational year, like so many energies impacting you. Like, of course you're going through this major change. You are the first sign of the zodiac, and just the time we're currently in, you know, you have to kind of pave the way forward. Now, let's get into some other energies that will be impacting you. Let's start off with Jupiter, because on June the 9th, Jupiter enters Cancer. Now, Jupiter is about expansion and growth, and it is a positive energy. However, it does depend on how it's impacting your chart. Sometimes it can really kind of amplify whatever it's touching, whether that's an opposition, whether that's a conjunction, whether that's like an area of life it enters. For you, Jupiter will be entering your 4th house of home, family, stability, and security. So this could either work in your favor, where you feel very happy at home, where you feel very relaxed and positive. However, with Saturn in the mix, to me, it's more of like this amplified energy where you may find yourself dealing with a lot of serious stuff at home, dealing with a lot of family stuff that kind of is like over the top, and it can be a little tense, even though Jupiter is the opposite. Jupiter is this joyful energy, but with Saturn here in your 1st house and the intensity Saturn brings, there may be some escalations of certain themes at home or regarding your family or your security or your stability. Now, if you're not being impacted that much by Saturn, and of course this depends based on your chart, this could be a time where you can really feel really positive at home. You can perhaps move homes, or something changes in your family dynamic for the positive. You may really enjoy being with home and family. You may feel really secure and stable at home during this time. Let's take a look at Uranus, because Uranus is leaving your 2nd house and entering your 3rd house, because it will be moving into Gemini. Now, Uranus in the 3rd house is really exciting because there's so much mental energy at your disposal. There's so much energy flowing from your crown chakra. There's so many ideas. There's just so much capacity to learn, evolve, and grow. Like, you're going to really enjoy socializing and communicating and exploring. So it's a great place for Uranus to be in, and it's really going to help you really get through like the more denser transits such as Saturn Neptune in your sign. So really enjoy this. If you're working on a creative project, this can really help you. I mean, I'm sure it will push you into the direction of working with something that has to do with communication. Great also to explore and travel. So that's going to be a real positive and a really exciting transit. So Aries rising, hold on tight. This is your year of transformation. A lot will change in your life by the end of next year. Now, of course, that depends on everyone's unique chart. Don't forget that. But I'm wishing you all the best. I hope everything works out in your favor and you become the best version of yourself. Take care, and I'll speak with you soon. Lots of love.